I have a parasite, son. What should I do? I need help.
Welcome, everyone, to your favorite show, Audience Questions in English. So here are your hosts, Steve and Margaret.
Hi, this is Margaret. How are you?
Hey, this is Dip. I'm ready to answer anything the audience throws at us.
Today we have Linda here with us, and she's coming from Chicago, Illinois, and she is ready to ask. Linda, please, ask your question.
Hi, Margaret. Hi, Steve. My name is Linda, and I'm honestly embarrassed and frustrated to be asking this. I have a son who's almost 40 years old. He doesn't work, he doesn't study, and he dropped out of school years ago. Every now and then he gets a temporary job, but that money is only for him. He doesn't help at home and lives off me. I've tried talking to him. I've tried encouraging him. But every time I mention responsibility or getting a real job, he gets angry and defensive. Since my husband passed away a couple of years ago, everything has been on me, and I'm tired. I love my son, but I'm starting to feel like I'm supporting a parasite, and that makes me angry and ashamed at the same time. So tell me honestly, should I kick out my parasite son, or I should be putting up with him? Please tell me.
Oh, that's a really strong question, Linda. Thanks for sharing. Especially coming from you because you're the mother and I'm pretty sure you must be really sad right now. Well, we try to do the best we can to give you the best advice possible. Right, Margaret? So, let's break this down. Alright, so let's talk about this question. A woman just came up to the podium and she asked for advice. She says she has a 40-year-old son who still lives with her. He doesn't have a stable job, only temporary gigs here and there, and she feels stuck. She even used a very strong word. She said she feels like her son has become a parasite. And now she's wondering, how do I encourage him to work? Or do I kick him out of the house?
Yeah, that's a heavy one. First of all, I want to say this out loud. If a mother is brave enough to say that about her own child, then the situation is probably really serious. This isn't about being cruel. This is about exhaustion.
Exactly. People listening might think, wow, that sounds heartless. But I don't hear a heartless mother. I hear someone who's been supporting an adult for decades and doesn't know where the line is anymore.
And let's be clear, this is not a kid. This is a 40-year-old man. At that age, we're not talking about potential anymore. We're talking about responsibility.
At 40, life has already knocked on your door a few times. You've had chances, you've had time. So the real question isn't, why hasn't he succeeded? The real question is, why is he still allowed to live without consequences?
That's where it gets uncomfortable. Because a lot of parents confuse helping with enabling. Helping is temporary. Enabling is permanent. And from what she described, this sounds like enabling.
I agree. Temporary jobs are fine when you're 22 and figuring things out. At 40? Temporary jobs usually mean no pressure to commit because there's always a safety net at home.
And that safety net is love. But love without boundaries can actually destroy motivation. If he knows he'll always have food, shelter, and zero urgency, why would he change?
Exactly. Motivation often comes from discomfort. Not cruelty, discomfort. And right now, he's too comfortable.
But I want to add something important here. Before kicking him out, there needs to be a conversation. A very clear, very adult conversation.
Yes. Not a fight, not a lecture. A conversation that sounds like this. I love you, but this situation is no longer working.
And then comes the hardest part, setting rules and deadlines. For example, you have 6 months. During those 6 months, you need to either get a stable job, pay rent, or move out.
And the key word here is follow through, because a lot of parents say that, and then 6 months pass, and nothing happens. Boundaries without consequences are just suggestions.
Now, some people will say, but what if he fails? What if he ends up homeless? And that fear is real. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Sometimes people only grow when they're forced to stand on their own feet.
And being uncomfortable for a while is not the same as being abandoned. He's 40, not 14.
Also, we should ask, is there something deeper going on? Depression? Fear of failure? Low self-esteem? Those things are real and they matter.
They do. But they're explanations, not excuses. Plenty of people struggle with mental health and still work, still try, still take responsibility. Margaret, and if mental health is part of the issue, then the condition should be. I'll support you, but you need to be in therapy, actively working on yourself. Support should come with effort, not passivity.
Another thing we don't talk about enough is the resentment that builds up. When a parent secretly feels angry, bitter, or ashamed, that poison leaks into the relationship anyway. Yeah, and kids, even adult kids, feel that energy. So pretending everything is fine doesn't protect the relationship. It slowly destroys it.
So to answer her question directly, should she kick him out? Not immediately, but should stop protecting him from the dating. If, after clear rules, clear deadlines, and real chances, nothing changes, then yes.
Letting him leave might be the most loving thing she can do. Because at that point, keeping him at home isn't kindness. It's fear. And fear doesn't raise strong adults. Responsibility does. So our advice is simple, but not easy. Love him, respect him, and treat him like the grown man he is. Because sometimes the message isn't, I'm giving up on you. Sometimes the message is, I believe you can survive without me.
And that belief might be exactly what finally pushes him to grow up.
Those answers were marvelous. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Margaret. But unfortunately, time is up. Don't miss the next episode. And please, leave your answer on the comments. What do you think about that question? See you next time.